Alright, third try at this video. Walking into prickle bushes and stubbed my toe, and it's really a difficult subject, and so it probably isn't going to work for this walk and talk stuff. But we're back to this, my shoe untied, gift character of life crap again. And a few people have made videos. Pyro keeps making them, and the Karoots guy I saw, he made a video. He's got a new look. It's pretty good. But he uses all the big words and the big language, the pretentious, human. Let's overstate it rather than simply state it. Life is not complicated in its origin. I think we can agree on that. I don't think there's anybody who's going to say it is complicated in its origin. I mean, in terms of the mechanism, consumption, reproduction, DNA molecule. I mean, is somebody making an argument that that's not the origin, that we aren't a product of natural selection, evolution, with the non-existent agenda of just outcompete your relatives and survive, and whoever does that the best wins? That's what this is. And all that we are, all this brain function, exists because it was a tool. It provided it gave us it was a shield or a club. Oh man, depending on the circumstance. We could use it for either one. And we became eccentric, complicated, sophisticated. These aren't really the right words. Complicated, I guess, is a safe enough word. Less crude, less simple in how we psychologically functioned, because there was advantage to that nuance. You could optimize, it'd be more efficient, even if the competition wasn't with some direct competitor, even if it was just a matter of resource utilization. Intelligence would be advantageous, and that's it. That's the story of life. I mean, so our psychology is we're just, if we're going to sit there and say what is the character of our existence, what is the basis of it, it's the need character, it's the addiction character, it's the primitive, crude emotion character. There's lots of ways we can describe what the substance of this is, and the substance isn't all this talk about spirits or souls or magic or even the word unique. Who cares? That Dana guy made a video. I'll post a link to that below. Dana Garrett. And just arguing that we're better than the animals. Like somebody's arguing it's obvious that we are good at some stuff, and the good we're good at is brain stuff. So automatically that's going to be connected to consciousness and the quality of life, because that's where the quality of a life is going to exist, is in that sentience, in that consciousness. So there's an obvious relationship. But I don't know if it can be said that we're necessarily, the most sensual, happy, comfortable organism in, configuration. Yes, we can do things. We can write Shakespeare. It's nice, but it's only nice because we've decided that little tragic love stories are nice. From a different perspective of need and emotional attachment, that isn't going to mean much. So we just go round and round on this stuff, but I think the obligation is to account for our origins. to account for the mechanism that created us, and to explain why, in that process, that we should presume that this is leading towards some kind of improvement, some better thing, some better experience. Because it isn't, our experiences aren't improving in a lot of ways. Our life experiences are getting kind of complicated and tricky and hard, and there's just nothing free about this. So yeah, it's more complicated than just saying, oh yeah, well, we're more advanced and we have softer beds, therefore we have better lives. It takes more than that. And people are just talking like somehow if we have atomic purple jello, that we've accomplished something. But that's all we're going to chase. I mean, we went to the moon, and what do we get out of a tang? I mean, there's nowhere to go except to satisfy the need machine. And what intelligence gives us the ability to do, intelligence can get smarter. Like, yeah, we can know more about the details, about what exactly that rock's made out of, what percentage of minerals are in it. But unfortunately, the basic truths, the real hard core information has been discovered. And what we've discovered is what we are. We're just made out of desire. And we've discovered that depending on how you're maturated, you can change those desires. You can have different ones arise in an individual. And then even applying education and information, a person can even further be modified into sensibilities that might be more reasonable and productive and efficient, because they'll understand the benefit or the beauty of that. So, where am I going with this? Yeah. But there's no going anywhere. There's no place to get. There's no better version of human being. It's all the same version. It's a desire machine. And the only thing that changes is its knowledge base. And I would argue that all more knowledge is going to do for human beings is make them more and more aware of how completely fucked up this all is. How out of control it all is. How, we're really, really fucked. And, then we have this obligation to find a solution to do something about the suffering and the pain and the miseries and the horror that takes place all around us. And, so intelligence isn't going to make the ride easier. It's going to make the ride harder. Unless you get to some point where your intelligence acknowledges the problem and comes up with some sort of real solution, like a more direct road to the entertainment of your consciousness. And that's where virtual reality gets into the subject. But the bottom line is this is all redundant. This living thing, this addiction, it's all been done before. Plenty of times. And, oh, fuck. We're not really accomplishing anything. To do it over and over and over again. We're not winning. There's nothing to win. We just keep doing what the DNA has in mind. Not that it has it in its mind, but again, it's built into the structure. So yeah, we're satisfying those crude commandments of dumb nature. But we're barely doing that because we're on the brink of disaster environmentally. Our politics suck. That might kill us. So we're not, our success is such a tiny period of time in history. There's no reason to assume that's going to last too long, especially with the radical change in the power of information, and especially if what is becoming obvious is that knowledge, that capacity to understand is being seeded with ignorance and stupidity. We're dragging old primitive ideas, gods, into the future, and then people who have the capacity to know it's all bullshit have decided that they have to make up bullshit too to live by. Because they can't find purpose, personal purpose,